Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News journalist Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufa.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. Just before the lead story, of course, above the masthead, Obi, I will rescue Nigeria from becoming a failed state. Yes, and he went further to say, wealth of the nation is here. Former Anambra governor tells Northerners, assures that farmers will return to their farms in 2023. And of course, the lead story, Tinubu in Kaduna vows to deal with elements threatening nation's security, says every inch of Nigeria's territory will be secured. Hints of economic plans, says he will pay attention to modern fiscal drivers. Declares it's payback time. Atiku should endorse him. Well, yesterday, the presidential candidate of the APC and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party were in Kaduna to meet with northern leaders to sell their candidacy and promote their programs, as it were. And for the first time in a long while, the APC candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I see this as, his most coordinated outing in recent times. And touching all the right points, programs he's going to pursue, change the narrative, of course, talking about security, which is widespread in the north. And, of course, out-of-school children, more in the north than anywhere else in the country. He's going to deal with all that. But again, he did not fail to also go down the lane of entitlement. I've helped Atiku. This is the time for Atiku to also step down and back me. I consider that a broadside because clearly Atiku is not going to do that. But just to remind the Northerners, and he reeled off a long list of Northerners he has helped on the political arena, from Atiku, ACN, to Nuhu Ribadu, who he helped but abandoned before on the day of presidential election, and of course, the well-known, well-articulated idea of helping Buhari to power. So, he's been a friend of the North. Everybody is a friend of the North, I want to believe. Well, but again, Tinubu making his case in a very clear and coordinated manner before the Northern elders. Of course, Obi also making his pitch for the presidency. He will also transform the North. But in his own case, he later emphasized that yes, we all have good ideas. It's not difficult to put down good ideas in paper. You can get professors, they will give you a brilliant blueprint for you to mount all over the place. But he said, it's about trust and character, which is what he seemed to be offering. Somebody who has character and trust, that the people can trust him. But again, pitching before the Northern elders, I hope the candidates will also go and pitch before the Eastern elders, before the elders of the Southwest, and perhaps also come to the South and pitch before the elders. But of course, the North, where you have the bulk of the votes, especially the Northwest, we can understand why that has been the focus. But the elders who sit in court yesterday, how well they will influence their people to vote for a particular candidate And will they come up with a consensus on who should to back after hearing from all the candidates? Well, we just move on to other newspapers. Now, the Punch newspaper also has that story. 2023, Tinubu Obi unfold economic restructuring agenda to not APC LP candidates speak on restructuring, corruption, agriculture, power. I supported Atiku. It's payback time now. Let him endorse me, says ex-Lagos governor. Atiku, Saraki, party members fume as talks attack PDP, Kaduna, Zamfara rallies. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper also reporting the same story, 2023. Tinubu Obi self-serves to Northern elders, leaders. Our founding fathers will cringe at those using tribe to campaign. Tinubu promises to champion indivisible, prosperous nation. The wealth of the nation in the north, says Obi, pledges transformative leadership. Now, the Daily Sun newspaper, we have done very well, says Buhari, claims government executed high-impact projects. 3,800 kilometers of new roads built. Yes, yesterday, the President Muhammadu Buhari, had what clearly is the last ministerial performance review. Of course, the third in the series. I wonder why this was not started much earlier in the life of his administration. This is the 7th year, the 8th year of his administration. But an opportunity for the president to also push his case that, look, I've done this, I've done that. Remember, the president once accused his ministers not doing enough to tell the world and the nation all the good things they have done for Nigeria. But again, Nigerians are in a better position to judge whether the president has done well or not, or done very well, because I underline that very, very well by president. And good thing is that the president is also talking about what he's going to do in the next 6 or 7 months before the end of his administration. So the administration in the twilight of this tenure is not going on holidays. It's going to work to ensure that they complete some projects. But one thing perhaps we should remind the president about, the flooding that has taken over 31 out of 36 states today is because projects that were to be done, building of dams in our own end of River Benue, so that we can also take some of this water in when the dams are opened in Cameroon. Not done. In 2012, we had this, now again. So what will the president put in place? At least start the work, even if it is to make provisions, do the general the studies, so that a dam can be built, because we don't want to go through this again. A lot of villages in many parts of the country, Kogi, Bayelsa, Delta, are underwater. The east-west route completely cut off. So it's something the president needs to also visit in the next 7 months, although a lot to be done for those who are affected. The Ministry of Humanitarian Services is not there yet on ground in many parts of this country where this flood has affected families. We need to see that ministry in action. Not the ministry is a federal ministry and should attend to humanitarian disasters in every part of the country. And we need to see them on ground in every part of this country. We have not seen that yet. Now, the Guardian newspaper, inflation peaks mildly as flood sounds, food crisis alarm bear. Yes, challenged threatens Nigeria's rice self-sufficiency. Farming communities completely cut off from urban areas. Experts, worse food inflation next year. Expect worse food inflation next year. Experts are warning. Of course, it's a no-brainer with many rice farms taken over and destroyed by flood, unless something dramatic happened. Clearly, the price of rice, a very popular staple in this country, will just continue to go up. And the inflation, yes, the Consumer Price Index released yesterday showed the inflationary trend, which some are even saying is not a true reflection of the real situation on ground. But standing at 20.77%, they call a moderate increase on 20.52% recorded in August. And yes, mild inflation, they want to call it, but as Ruben always say, the pandemic of the empty pockets felt by Nigerians, I think is far worse than these figures we are talking about here. Now, the Nation newspaper, the lead story, my plans for prosperous united Nigeria by Tinubu, but below the photograph, NLNG force majeure may push up gas price. That is another one coming. Yes, because the NLNG declaring force majeure, because most of its gas suppliers affected by the flooding have also declared force majeure. Right now, gas prices, we hope something will happen there, because it's been going up for quite some time now, and it's at an astronomical rate. But because perhaps those who can afford it are the ones who pay for it, they don't make too much fuss about it, but the gas price has gone up.
Thank you so much for that. It's just of astronomical proportion what is going on, the rate of inflation, and as regards even the flood, over 1 million people displaced. It's no joke. It's a real natural
No, it's
disaster.
over 2 million now.
Over 2 million people displaced. That's
the last time was 1.3. Now we're already over 2 million people displaced across the country.
Very sad, but we'll keep talking about it. We'll keep calling on the authorities for flood relief.